Kevin McCarthy's ousting as House Minority Leader came as a surprise to many. After reports of a failed coup to oust him, his political clout seemed to diminish drastically. His lack of a strong presence in Washington, D.C., and summer's alts between the Republican Party and the Trump administration are thought to be the main reasons he was forced out. Kevin McCarthy was seen as being too close to the Trump administration, not doing enough to distance the GOP conservative base from the president's often controversial decisions. Some sources suggest McCarthy was too focused on obtaining President Trump's vote instead of working for what was best for his party. His supporters felt that McCarthy failed to demonstrate a strong moral stance. Reports claim his refusal to condemn past remarks made by the president showed a weak level of commitment to GOP doctrine. Critics argue the amount of time he spent trying to curry favor with Trump was wasteful, rather than shifting his attention back to more pressing issues facing the party. McCarthy's failure to support the Republican Party's legislative agenda, such as healthcare reform, tax reform, and infrastructure, has drawn criticism. His no-strings-attached approach to defunding political campaigns has also raised eyebrows. Political consultants and experts claim his lack of strategy doomed his candidacy. Additionally, he is seen as a partisan who focused on lining the pockets of special interests rather than serving the best interests of his constituents. McCarthy also came under fire for his lack of leadership and lack of progress on issues such as immigration, judicial reform, and the environment. His backpedaling on key issues such as gun control, immigration, and pro-choice didn't help build his political influence or stabilize his leadership. It is believed McCarthy's inability to commit to a unified message was detrimental to the growth of the Republican Party. His promise of a new Republican Party was seen as an empty promise by many. Critics say it further highlighted his lack of commitment to the party. McCarthy's flip-flop of his previous position on the stimulus package, calling it too little too late, also didn't sit well with other members of the GOP. The breaking point for McCarthy seemed to have come with his ill-advised speech in an April House Budget Committee meeting. His lack of clarity on his stances on abortion and immigration fueled further doubts in his leadership. While McCarthy tried to reach out to the Democratic Party, many Republicans took this as him abandoning his principles. Being the House Minority Leader, McCarthy was expected to offer solutions and strength, rather than creating further divisions within the party. His attempts to bridge the two parties were met with serious criticism from the conservative base. The media rumors that circulated about him abandoning his party's core values did little to help his case. Following a string of controversial decisions, many believe McCarthy outstayed his welcome in the House Republican Party. His unchecked power had begun to worry members and sources close to the House. His lack of verbal discipline and lack of support for many regulations indicated it was time he moved on. Reports of a failed coup to oust him further weakened his political base, and therefore, his ousting was seen as inevitable. McCarthy was seen as a lackluster leader and unable to rally support around him. His inability to maintain party cohesion was another highlight of his leadership failure.